Hi, I'm Bill Myers, and this is another one of my video tips of the week. In this week's video tip, I'm going to show you how I made the cover for my latest book. Now, this is what the cover looks like. Now, before I show you how to make it, let me tell you the strategy behind the cover. When people browse through the books at Amazon, they're usually looking at a list of thumbnail images, so the cover size is relatively small. And I wanted my cover to stand out. I wanted people who were interested in this topic to see the keywords that would attract their attention. For example, the minivan and mini RV and camper, those are the keywords for my target market. And I wanted those words to stand out. I also wanted the cover to have a bright color that would draw their attention. I think this bright yellow does that. And the other thing is I wanted an image of a minivan, but I wanted a generic minivan, so people who had a Chrysler minivan wouldn't be turned off if I showed a Toyota minivan, or people who had a General Motors or Ford minivan wouldn't be turned off if I showed a Chrysler. So I used this stock image here. Now I'll show you how I created this. First thing I did is I went to Photoshop Elements, and in Photoshop Elements I clicked File, New, Blank File, and I entered the optimum image dimensions for a Amazon ebook cover, which is 1667 pixels wide and 2500 pixels high. I set the background contents to be white, and I clicked OK. Now I wanted to put that yellow color in there, so what I did is I used my paint bucket, and I made sure that my foreground color here was yellow, and I filled that in. So there's the basic book cover. Now all I have to do is add words. Now to add words, all I have to do is click the text tool and type in the words that I wanted for the cover. So after I've entered the text, the next thing I want to do is put an image right here. And to find that image, I go to the place that I usually find images that I use for book covers, and that's Shutterstock. So we'll go there now. And once I got to Shutterstock, I'll type in the image that I want. And I want a minivan. So I type that in, and then I click the search. And it shows me different types of minivans. Now right here where it says all images, it's going to show me photos, vectors, and illustrations. And really what I want is an illustration. So I'm going to search just illustrations. And then I go through the ones that look good. Now that one's not too bad, but I want a little color on the cover, so I didn't get that one. And I'll scroll through, and you can see there's some really interesting ones here. There's lots of Volkswagen vans as well, but since mine is not a Volkswagen van book, and I didn't want to turn off people who don't have Volkswagen vans, I didn't use that. So I scrolled all the way down, didn't find any on that first page, and clicked next page, and I saw these right here, and I thought that's exactly what I need. I need that generic minivan. So I went ahead and licensed that image. The image cost me $16 to license. Now that I have that image, I can go into Photoshop and upload that image. So in Photoshop, I click File, Open, and open that Shutterstock image. So now that I have the image from Shutterstock open in Photoshop Elements, there are a couple of things I want to do. Notice that both vans are going to the left. On my book cover, I want the vans to go to the right. Also, I only want one van, and I have a choice of two, but I think I'm going to go with the top one. In order to get that top van, what I'm going to do is use the crop tool and crop away everything except that top van. And there it is there. Now, I also want to change the direction so that it's going in that way. And to do that, I go to Image, I go to Rotate, and flip horizontal, and now it's going in that direction. The other thing I want to do is get rid of this white background because I'm going to lay this on top of the yellow book cover. And to do that, I use the magic wand. I select the white background. I also select this little white area here so that now all the white is selected. Now because I don't want to select the white, I want the van, I'm going to go to Select, Inverse, and now the van is selected by itself. And then I choose Edit and Copy. And I can go back to my yellow book cover, and since I've copied the van into memory, I can click Edit and paste, and it puts the van there. Obviously it's too large, so what I can do is grab a corner and resize it, and that's what that looks like. Now I was pretty proud of that, and I showed that to my wife, and she said that doesn't look bad, but I can make it look better. And the truth was she could. So she took that and changed just the fonts around, and that's all she did, and she came up with this. So hers looks pretty good, I have to admit. Now if you want to compare what they look like, we can change the layout so you can see a side by side. This is the one that I designed. That's the one that she designed. It took her about 20 minutes to change the font and make it look good. And you can see that when you're looking at this from a distance, the word minivan stands out and mini RV camper stands out. And it's got the nice little picture of the minivan. Anyway, creating a cover like this is fairly easy to do. You don't have to have exceptional graphic skills. All you have to do is have an idea of what you want before you get started. Total time involved in the cover, I spent about an hour. My wife spent about 20 minutes. Total cost was the $16 it cost to license that image. Thought you might be interested in knowing how to do this. I'm Bill Myers. This has been another one of my video tips of the week. You can find more like this at www.bmyers.com.